Chris, fantastic to catch up with you. Also at the August Bloodstock South Africa 2-year-old sale. I want to talk to you about that really good colt, or at least he's shaping up to be Dave the King. What was the story and how you actually, the Ralph's family bought him and etc. Could you just give us some insight on how he came to be?
Yeah, so Lindsay bought him at home on the online platforms at one of the Cape sales. And unbeknown to him at the time when he bought it, Gary Player had bred the horse. And at that stage, I think they owned a couple of horses together. So picked up the phone, called Gary, or Gary picked up the phone, called Lindsay and said, "You've bought a lovely horse of mine." Told him all about the mare and how much he loved the mare. And yeah, Lindsay decided to get him involved in the horse. Larry Nestat got involved as well. And Lindsay had bought it partly because of the name, Dave the King, for a friend of his, Dave Koff. And yeah, that's how we got him. He was then asked if he could stay in the Cape. It was a decision made by Gary, Lindsay and Larry to keep him in the Cape. And I mean, he's 2 from 2 and it's all smiles at the minute. We just hope he can keep progressing because he does look like a nice sort.
So yes, I wanted to touch on his run so far. I mean, he broke his maiden in what seemed like softer going. He's got a lovely big looping action, and he seems like you say, progressive. Yeah. And then he went and followed that up with another win and against some other juveniles that also had won. So was a pretty positive sign from that standpoint.
Yeah. So his first start, Vaughan actually told us he thinks he needs further, and at home on the sand, he doesn't show him the world in terms of pace and just ability, but he did think he'd need the run and the run would bring him on. And heavy going, we thought might have suited him first time out, and after he'd won so impressively first time out, we thought it could have been because of the heavy going, that he just got through it better than anyone else because he was such a big strong horse. And then after that we did ask Vaughan to run him again because we didn't want to get too excited. Asked him to put into a half decent race and let's see where we stood with him. And Vaughan once again said to us he thinks it's going to be too short for him because he's going up against some smart 2-year-olds that have good form over 12. And it was impressive again. I mean, he just gets into stride so quickly for such a big horse, and once he gets challenged, he just seems to extend and do the right thing. So he's a horse going in the right way. We do think he'll get a mile, and we're starting to plan his immediate future in the hopes that he can be a contender in the Cape Features in early summer.
You might see him in the Guineas. I think that's, in terms of 3-year-old top racing, the Guineas is a target. So we will likely see him stepping out in the not too distant future. Any races targeted for him?
I think his immediate races probably be, I think it's the Cape Classic over 1400.
1400, yes.
I think Vaughan does want to try him in there. He might have a prep run before that, but we do think he'll get a mile, but with these horses, you never know till they actually run over the mile. So the Guineas is on the radar, and something that's pretty exciting as well, that if he does get the mile, we'd have to secure a slot as we don't have one, but you got the CTS Gold Rush coming up as well. So being off that sale, he does qualify, and depending how his 3-year-old season starts now, we might be in the market for a ticket.
That's fantastic news. And to bring it back to the sale here, are you shopping around for horses? I mean, the stakes increases, Joburg and in Cape Town specifically, which really seem like a really good timing for you to come and buy a horse and to be able to get a juvenile up and running and to earn some money back quite quickly.
Yeah, so it's always been a bit of a value sale. You got to do your homework. You got to try to find the right horses, and I mean, sometimes you don't always have the big budget, so you got to try to find the gems basically. And yeah, I've always helped Candice Dawson in her looking. Her and I go through the sales grounds and collaborate and see what we can get for her yard a lot of the time, with my wife being involved in the yard and my father-in-law being an owner in the yard. So yeah, between the two of us, we come up with shortlists, and I think it's the same as everyone else. You're trying to get decent horses in at the right price. And with the stakes increases in the Cape, it's obviously lucrative. My father-in-law and my wife's family have owned horses in the Cape for a long time. I think he actually started owning in the Cape with Vaughan. So it's nice to have a progressive 3-year-old and a decent horse in the Cape again, as most of the string is based in Joburg now. But yeah, it's always a good sale, good value sale, and you can find the right horse at the right price, and that's what we try to do.